Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and happy 3rd of July. Welcome to Jazz Texas. Welcome to the Doc Watkins Show. I'm your host, Doc Watkins. We've got a whole new round of special requests from you. Thanks so much for sending those in. We're also going to hear from vocalist Meg Bodi of the Doc Watkins Orchestra. We're going to bring Meg on in just a little bit, and we're so excited to catch up with her. We're going to get to the music in just a little bit. But first, let's have a look at the Jazz Texas news. As the NBA resumes its season, the league is considering a tape delay in order to prevent bad language from the players. They're not only concerned about fans being able to hear profanity, but also worried about players shouting even more obscene things like, "Ted Cruz's dad shot Kennedy," or "Maroon 5 is a good band," or "I want to see more Gwyneth Paltrow films." After a female visitor was attacked by the bison at Yellowstone National Park, the park has issued an advisory to stay 25 yards away from all large animals, unless, of course, they're wearing masks and using antler sanitizer, in which case you only need to stay 6 feet away. Also, if you're an elk or a moose experiencing symptoms like fever, chills, or new loss of taste or smell, you should be tested immediately and social distance yourselves from Florida college students, as well as other animals. In Wales, England, police have finally caught a suspect charged with a heist of fresh-made cupcakes that's happened 12 times during the quarantine. Here's some footage taken at the crime scene. If you or any of your loved ones are the victim of a dog stealing your cupcakes, then call Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer. He stands tough against all cupcake-stealing canines and carries a big, big leash. Call 777-HAMMER. It's hammer time. Can't touch this. While summer concerts are canceled due to the pandemic, big-name acts are scheduling socially distanced concerts while observing all CDC protocols. For example, the Rolling Stones just announced that social distancing on stage is no problem for them whatsoever, considering Mick Jagger and Keith Richards have been staying at least 6 feet apart for the last 30 years. Also in music, Willie Nelson's annual 4th of July picnic concert is going virtual this weekend. While no one will be able to attend in person, an online link will provide information on how fans can experience the thrill of Willie's giant hits. Giant hits off his album and his bong. A new Amazon feature called Guest Connect lets you stream your favorite songs to your friend's speaker without linking your phone to their Wi-Fi. Of course, you might have to explain to your friend why Achy Breaky Heart and Call Me Maybe are blasting on their speaker. The Amazon feature will also allow you to smoke your favorite weed strains without actually having to attend Willie Nelson's 4th of July picnic. And finally, a top-rated high school football coach in Kentucky, Jerry Perry, has proposed moving the new season to next spring and says, "The bottom line is that the mission right now needs to be on beating that virus." According to Coach Perry, the best way to beat the coronavirus is to have the quarterback take the snap, then fake viral symptoms while running a hook and lateral by having a Dr. Fauci-approved vaccine run a route 10 yards downfield, catch the virus, then lateral the antibodies to a fullback who tackles the virus at the moment of infection, leading to a score of Wildcats 21, COVID-19. And that's it for the Jazz Texas News. Well, let's get to some music and to more of your special requests. This next tune is requested by a good friend, Tiffany. Thank you for the request, Tiffany. This is for a tune from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It's a beautiful tune called It's You I Like. It's You I Like by Fred Rogers. We could use a little Mr. Rogers in our world today. Thank you for the request, Tiffany. I'd also like to thank my main man back there behind the cameras, Mr. Chris Science, everybody.
Science!
With Wizard Broadcasting. Ladies and gentlemen, check them out on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you, Chris, for everything that you're doing. This next tune, this one goes out to Jamie. And this is a tune that was sung a long time ago by the great Tony Bennett and sung so well, one of the most iconic recordings of all time, that the story goes that Frank Sinatra was set to record it soon after Tony Bennett. And after he heard Tony's recording, he said, forget about it. I'm not touching that song. That song belongs to Tony. So this is a tune I'm going to play. I'm not going to sing it. I'm going to play it for y'all, called I Left My Heart in San Francisco. And thank you for the request, Jamie. Coincidentally, I left my wallet in El Paso over the holidays, and so if anybody sees it, please get in touch with me. I'd love to have it back, so just give me a call anytime. Here goes. Thank you very much, everybody. That one went out to Jamie. Thanks for the request, Jamie. We also want to thank Alamo Music for this wonderful new piano that they've loaned us for these live streams. Guys, thank you for supporting the community. We really appreciate it. It's a brand new Kawai piano, and it's been a joy to play over the last few weeks. Thank you, guys. Alrighty. This next tune, this one goes out to Carrie. And Carrie, thank you for the request. This is an old Nat King Cole song that Nat King Cole sung back in the 1940s called Route 66. It's a nice little fun blues tune. We hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the Doc Watkins Show, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. If you ever plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles on the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to my timely tip? You take that California trip. Come on, get your kicks on Route 66. Well, you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. You get hip to my timely tip. When you take that California trip, get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. righty, that's Route 66. Thank you for the request. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, well, my special guest tonight is a jazz vocalist, a country western singer, and a professional esthetician based in Austin, Texas. She performs with Austin-based classic country band Finger Pistol, and also with the Doc Watkins Orchestra. And Meg sang at Jazz Texas on both opening and closing night, and many nights in between. We've had a lot of fun times in the last few years. Would you please welcome to the bandstand, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Meg Bodi. Hey, Meg. You there? I can see you, but I can't hear you. You might possibly be muted. Are you muted? She's not muted, she says. All righty. Can we sign? That's what I know. Chris, we're good over here on our end? Okay, let's see. Do we want to log in and log back out, or? Yeah? Meg, do you want to log out and then log back in? Standing by, ladies and gentlemen, standing by.
How about now?
Hey, there we go. Hey, how's it going? You sound terrific. Hey, Meg, you look lovely. Thank you for joining us on the show tonight.
My pleasure. Good to see you.
It's been about 110 days since we've seen each other and performed together, and it's really great to have you on the show. I would like, if you don't mind, to start out by asking you about the science of aesthetology and how that relates to your profession and studying. Basically, aesthetics, you are in the profession of studying beauty and studying beautiful people, and I'm informed that that's illegal in most states, but you're in Texas here, and so so you've gotten back to work in the last couple weeks, and you're seeing you don't call them patients, you call them clients, right?
Yes.
And but I would imagine, because we've talked about this before, that you do facials and waxings and shavings and no.
No shaving.
But I would imagine that coming back from quarantine after a couple weeks of not seeing their esthetician, there were probably a lot of not overgrown, but long overdue cases.
Uh-huh.
Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And people are coming back. You have to have proper skin care and proper hair care and just, general well-being and everything.
Yes, people are very excited to have some sense of normalcy when everything else feels so chaotic.
And that's you provide that type of care not only on the skincare level and in your aesthetics practice, but also musically. You provide well-being in singing with our band, with the orchestra, and also with Finger Pistol. And you guys have been doing some stuff up in Austin. You've been doing some live streams on Tuesday that have gone head-to-head against my show, and you've stolen about 5 million of my viewers.
Subtract most of those digits.
4 million, give or take. Tell me what y'all been doing with the live streams and how that's been going.
Oh, we've been having a pretty good time. They're pretty goofy. It's more of a variety show type format than anything, but each of our bandmates has a segment that they do, and so our band genius does a little science segment every week, and we've got a native Austinite, which is pretty rare, and he does a segment on old Austin memories every week, so things like that. It's pretty fun.
Is that the steel guitar player?
No, that's Neil Flans, and he does a segment on classic country music stories from his time on the road way back.
What's the best classic country story that you've heard from him?
Oh, I couldn't even pare it down, but he talks a lot about being on the road with classic country musicians way back when they would all, do illicit things in tour buses together and things we can't do anymore.
Yeah, no, you can't really do that stuff too much anymore. So I've heard, But have you seen? There's a show called Tales of the Tour Bus. Have you seen that show yet?
I haven't.
And it's all about the classic country tales. Some country music, classic country music, has some of the best, between jazz and blues and classic country. I think it probably puts rock and roll to shame as far as some of the, well, that's probably not true, but, some great stories out there. And speaking of having a native Austinite in your band, much like myself, you are not a native Austinite. You come from Chicago, and you made it all the way from up north down to Texas, and not only joined one Texas band, but two. So you're in a Texas jazz band and a Texas country band. And how did you, I know how you got the gig with me, but how did you get the gig with Dan and with Finger Pistol?
So Finger Pistol had been a band already for probably 5 years, and the girl singer at the time was getting ready to phase herself out a little bit and have a little more time for traveling with her family. And I met them doing karaoke. And I had done some Pat Benatar and some Meatloaf at a regular karaoke night that my bandmate Dan Hardick hosted. And I guess he thought I was doing a pretty good job and asked if I'd want to fill in for the other girl singer that was leaving.
And then about 4 years ago, right before we opened up Jazz Texas, my family and I, we were at a dance hall event up at Twin Sisters, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, Twin Sisters, up 281, and Meg and Finger Pistol were performing, and we didn't go to check out the band per se. We went, because a bunch of our friends are going. We thought that sounds like a pretty good time, so we're hanging out, listening to the band. The band sounded great. People were dancing, having a good time, and I was like, this is classic Texas dance hall music. And I turned to my wife Jessica, and I was like, man, have you checked out the female singer? She's like amazing, tons of personality, and here she's singing with the country band, but I bet she can totally pull off those songs with the jazz band too. And so I had to Facebook stalk you for a while and sent you messages and stuff, and I was like, this sounds crazy, but we're opening up this jazz club. It's probably not going to work, but if it does, I'd love to have you in the band, and would you be interested? And you sung hundreds of gigs with us and played on or sang on 2 of our albums and everything since then.
Yeah, after spending plenty of time trying to convince you that you probably shouldn't hire me.
And I was like, that you're perfect for this band because, you just incorporate all the things that people love about Texas music and about Texas jazz and Western swing and jazz. And we've had so much fun together over the years. And, it's like, but I remember, you did the right thing, which was you were like, well, I'm already in a band. And if your band plays on the weekend and the band I'm in already plays on the weekend, I need to give first priority to the band that I'm already committed to. And so there have been some Saturdays that you couldn't make the gig with us because you were playing with Finger Pistol. And I always felt like a high school student trying to date the guy's daughter or whatever. It was like, Mr. Dan, can I take Meg to the gig tonight? And he's like, yeah. Good. But we're so happy for all the dates that you did give us and are going to give us in the future, right?
Yes, please.
So how can we, can people say hi on Instagram or Facebook, or, can they, as long as they don't ask you to be in their band as well, because you're committed, right?
I'm fully committed. 2 bands is plenty. I have an Instagram that is Girl Singer Meg with underscores between those words. And that's about it for my social media promotion. I'm not the world's best self-promoter. But
you are engaged.
I am engaged.
Yeah.
I should have already been married, but this darn virus.
Wedding was in May, and it's been postponed till a TBD date. But I did want to bring that up to let all y'all know, those tuning in, that you are invited, and it's going to be a great party. Yeah.
We'll wait a very long time so that we can have that many people.
It's going to be a while. Well, Meg, it's so wonderful to see you. We miss you so much. We've had so many great times, and this is just a bump in the road. And we're gonna get back to making music, and people are gonna be coming back to hear us one of these days. And so great times ahead. And we still have plenty of wine behind the bar.
Okay, perfect.
So it's waiting for you.
Awesome. Well, to everybody at home, I can't wait to see all of you again in person.
Love you, Meg. See you soon.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. Meg Bodi, ladies and gentlemen. Had a lot of really wonderful times with Meg, and if you haven't seen Meg perform with the full 11-piece orchestra down here at Jazz Texas, it's a ton of fun, and she's a wonderful, wonderful performer and entertainer and vocalist and human being. So Meg, thanks for coming on the show, and look forward to seeing you again real soon. Alrighty, next tune. By special request, this one goes out to Cynthia. This is for a Fats Waller tune written almost 100 years ago, and it's called Ain't Misbehavin'. Hope you enjoy. This Ain't Misbehavin' by Fats Waller. and dedicated to Cynthia. Thank you for the request, Cynthia. This next tune is dedicated to Rick. Special request from Rick just the other day is for a tune written by the great Errol Garner. Here's Misty. That's Misty by Errol Garner, and that one went out to Rick. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we realize that during these times, many of you are getting very bored and you're getting cooped up in your homes. You're trying to find fun things to do, creative things to do to keep your mind occupied. And we've had a lot of emails saying that during these times, many of y'all are turning to board games and other fun activities. And here at Jazz Texas, we've invented our own board game that you can play along with right there from your own home. So without further ado, here's the board game. Now, y'all know how the board game works. We pick two famous people, we compare the two, and then at the end of the game, I get to decide who's the biggest bore. So, tonight on the board game, who's more boring, John Mayer or Amelia Earhart? Well, on the one hand, John Mayer is singer-songwriter and guitarist. Mayer became fascinated with the guitar after watching Michael J. Fox's performance as Marty McFly in Back to the Future. Coincidentally, most people wish they could go back to the future and stop John Mayer from having a career in the first place. Mayer is also known as a womanizer, and whether it's Jennifer Aniston, Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, or Cameron Diaz, any woman who's dated him agrees that John Mayer is a major tool. John Mayer has a collection of watches worth over $20 million, and whenever I hear one of his songs, I always look at my watch to see when it's going to end. Mayer has a total of 12 tattoos adorning his body, including a traditional Japanese sleeve tattoo that stands for Poor Man's Dave Matthews. John Mayer is known for his song titles that end in ITY, including Gravity, Levity, and that song about all the girls he slept with, Promiscuity. One of Mayer's biggest hits is the song Daughters. Ironically, the goal of any parent who has daughters is to keep them far away from John Mayer. On the other hand, Amelia Earhart was an aviation pioneer known for being the first female pilot to fly solo across the Atlantic. Born in Kansas in 1897, Amelia Earhart was her parents' only daughter, and had she lived longer, she would have likely been hit on by John Mayer. Amelia Earhart didn't board a plane until 1920, but like modern air travel, she didn't like it at first because of the number of babies crying in the middle of the seat. Amelia Earhart became the first person to fly across the Pacific, as opposed to singer John Mayer, who isn't a pilot but is a well-known member of the Mile High Club. Amelia Earhart is perhaps the only pilot to be honored by having a popular line of luggage named after them. Strangely, Amelia Earhart's suitcases, much like the woman herself, often disappear over the ocean and are never found. It's a tough call, but if you had to pick who bores you the most, John Mayer or Amelia Earhart, the correct answer is John Mayer. And thanks for playing the board game. All right, we've got time for a couple more requests. Thank you all. Please keep sending them in. We're going to be live here next Tuesday and Friday at 8 o'clock Texas time, so make sure and tune in. This next tune goes out to very good friends Liz and Gil. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to every single one of our episodes ever since we began these live streams. This one goes out to you, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That's Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Liz and Gil. Thanks you guys for the request. One more big shout out to Mr. Chris Science. Wizard Broadcasting. All right, we got time for one more, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure and tune in next Tuesday and next Friday. We've got some more special guests ahead for you, so look forward to seeing you then. And we're going to leave you with this one final tune. This last tune goes out to Cynthia. It's a beautiful tune, one of my favorites, called I Wish You Love. I wish you bluebirds in the spring to give your heart a song to sing, and then a kiss. But more than this, I wish you love. And in July, a lemonade to cool you in some leafy glade. I wish you health and more than wealth. I wish you love. My aching heart and I agree that you and I could never be. So with my best, my very best, I set you free. I wish you shelter from the storm, a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. I wish you bluebirds in the spring to give your heart a song to sing. But then a kiss, more than this, I wish you love. And in July, a lemonade to cool you in some leafy glade. I wish you health and more than wealth. I wish you love. my aching heart, and I agree that you and I could never be. So with my best, my very best, I set you free. I wish you shelter from the storm and a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Tune in next Tuesday night, same time, same channel. We'll be right back with more special requests from you. We love y'all. We hope to see you again soon. Be well. We'll see you then. Good night.